Oh, so I need to explain Shem Yoha Lasha better. Not, I don't need to explain it. I know y'all not comprehending on purpose. Okay, it's like a kid as a sub with a teacher. Because they just want to anyway. Shem taking the Lord in the name of the Lord in vain. The name Shem is the means of identifying, which is Samion Urkamayan Uranus coming in the clouds, or Yatriuk, uh, which is erasing clouds. It's the same thing. But powers in the clouds, power in the clouds. Anyway, that's the means of identifying Yoah. That is the Shem Yoah. So disrespecting or taking that name in vain, which is really devaluing, is devaluing my authority. Is one. My money, taking my money and what, giving it to the poor? No, that's devaluing, baby. That's anyway. Those are unforgivable sins when you're trying to manipulate me. That is devaluing the authority of the Lord. Not doing as I say. That's devaluing the authority of the Lord. God, hey, wah, hey. It's not my authority, but I am. Anyway, I'm basically the governor, right? The king, the anyway for this planet. So like when if I want to paste something to Facebook, let's say, and they don't let me do on groups or this or that, and Facebook's trying to manipulate me. That is taking the name of the Lord in vain. That is devaluing the authority of the Lord. That's what it is. So that is an unforgivable sin. Now I know I had a Christian friend want to argue with me like, "Hey, unforgivable. Read it. Unforgivable says 7 times. Okay, unforgivable. The Lord will never forgive any sin you have ever done. That means He will hold every sin you've ever done that you thought you were forgiven for is not forgiven. That's what it means." That's what you just did with not letting me post on Facebook or manipulating my credit card so I can't buy because you want to set something up. You're disrespecting the Lord, devaluing the Lord. That's an unforgivable sin. And then she's like, I know Christians say, "Oh, it says in red right there. I'm just forgive, I won't forgive." Unforgivable means unforgivable, and no, you can't add to the Torah and then say, "Oh no, we changed this." No, it doesn't change ever. 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 A million years from now, it'll still be the same. I'll be here. You won't. So enjoy your time on this earth. But none of you people, you witches, you're just trickers. You can't do any magic. Nobody can do any magic. No one's actually, I've been letting y'all do a little bit of magic on loan for a couple thousand years. And I took it away in June last year. I mean, absolutely. Take it. So people can't do magic. They're all their masses and this and that don't work in here. You're just doing silly stuff. Ooh, moving the cup around. Ooh, burning candles and saying some kind of crazy stuff and foreign language. Like, drawing little pentagrams and walking in circles. Like that. It's trickery, man, like I explained in the other video. But that's what Shem Yoah Lasha is. That is unforgivable sin. Now you look at, okay, people try to say, "Oh, his words are red." No, you look at that, it's deceit, dude. People can look at the New Testament and say, "Oh, well, Paul's making they're just making up a verse here that's not there, and there's so many things that are just outright lies, and they're provable lies. So you can't know. Anyway, That's what it is. So many of these people think they're saved. They're not saved. None, never just. You know that piece of gum you stole when you was a kid, and then you went to church. You felt bad. And the Lord forgave you. Yeah, you're not forgiven anymore. Oh, that's just what. But you know, another thing with unforgiven sins, people don't get like people will sin and they'll think, oh well, I can confess it later. Well, that's not forgivable. And Paul even says that. Right. He's a liar. It says that's what Paul says. Intentional sin is not forgivable. And just another thing is a sin. Like if you confess a sin, and then the Lord forgives you, you arrest that whole source of that sin. You know why this is what the New Testament says? That if you sin again, not forgiven. They don't know what their own book says, much less the actual book. They just think it's this cover, and they haven't bothered to pick up the cover on the car and see what even color the car is. And you know, and they're not even curious about this and that. It's obvious there's something there that ain't right. That's a lie. As it is, it's illogical. Anyway, so that's what Shem Yoha Lashai is, and that's what happens every time. Every day somebody does that. Every day. Every single day. And after, I'm kind of like, okay, that's just the way it is. They can live out their life. They are cut off some sorts of lives, so, but they're still live their life out, whatever. But I don't know how to say it. Well, never reach their full potential. It just did. Too bad. So that's what it is. That's what taking the name of the Lord in vain is. So I would keep that in mind. That people doing that for a very long time, and not even doing it one time means no sin ever they ever commit is forgivable. And people think, oh, you know what? These people that think that the New Testament is this, and they can believe that. No, that's like a crazy person that's a man dressed as a woman and say he's a woman. No, you're not. You're a nut. It doesn't change reality, dude. You're not a female. All right. You don't have eggs. Anyway, that's what taking the name of the Lord in vain is.